Hi everybody, Tex-Mex here. Thanks for joining me for another video. And the final firearm I have until my friend buys some more and lets me play with them of his John Wick Starter Pack is the Daniel Defense DDM4-V7. It is a beautiful, beautiful AR-15. Daniel Defense is a wonderful manufacturer. They make top tier stuff. If you want a firearm you can rely on, trust your life to, this is certainly one of those. It does come with a premium price tag. It's not something I would necessarily spend money on, but unfortunately, you know, unlike my friend who's, God bless him, he's my age, but without kids or a wife. So he has a nice house, he has nice cars, and I say cars in the plural, and very nice guns. Anyway, now this one is in the FDE color. It's got a grip and rip charging handle. It's got the Daniel Defense buttstock and pistol grip, which are real nice. I'll show those in a little more detail here in a second. It's got M4 feed ramps, a 16-inch government profile barrel with a 1-in-7 twist. It is a mid-length gas system, which I like. I think if you have a 16-inch barrel, mid-length is really, really nice. It's softer shooting and a little more reliable, in my opinion, and that's all it is, my opinion, than a carbine gas system on a 16-inch barrel. It's got the Daniel Defense flash suppressor that looks slightly similar to the A2. It is shorter and it is a little bit different, but slightly similar is all I can say. Now my buddy also put some Holosuns on here. It's got the HE510LGR reflex sight on here and a 3X magnifier. So he asked me to sight this in for him at 50 yards, which is what I'm going to do here today. I've got some PMC Bronze. This is a 55 grain 223 and an IMI I'm sorry, it's also 55 grain, but this is a 5.56. I'm sure it'll eat both without any problems. But let me go ahead and show you this firearm in a little more detail. So if you look here, it's got this front handguard. It's got the rail system in case you want to mount a bunch of stuff on it. In fact, he's already mounted a sling mount here on that and the buttstock. You can see the texturing that the Daniel Defense buttstock has. It's kind of a shorter buttstock, but I like it. It's nice, and the grip is very comfortable, very ergonomic, as is the front Daniel Defense grip here. It's got the Holosun sight with the magnifier, and I guess my buddy, because he's very tactical, also already has a flashlight on there with a pressure switch right here, which I won't need out here because it's daylight and I'm sighting it in at 50 yards. So beautiful rifle. They do have, like I said, a premium price tag, but they are certainly worth every penny if you can afford it. And today we're just going to sight it in for him at 50 yards. Now, if you're asking me what I have, as far as my quote-unquote, what I would trust my life to AR-15 that I've had for a long time, let me show it over here so you can get some nostalgia. So this here is it's a Franken gun. The bottom is a Lewis Machine & Tool, LMT lower, as you can see there, and it was assembled by LMT. I didn't buy it and put it together myself. Let the good people at LMT put it together themselves, because I wanted this to be one I could trust my life to, and I don't do enough gunsmithing to trust myself to do it perfectly. And obviously they're going to stake the castle nut and do a bunch of other stuff that I wouldn't have the means to do at home. The top is a BCM mid-length. It's got standard handguards. It's not free floating or anything. Even has the front sight base, and I've got an aim point red dot on there with a LaRue tactical quick release mount. I like LaRue, try to support a fellow Texan there. And of course I also have a backup rear sight here that co-witnesses with the whole thing. Obviously this was a lot less expensive to put together. What this basic setup is this was a very popular setup, although a lot of people like the M4 style barrel that had the little notch here for mounting you know, something underneath the barrel, but I was never going to do that anyway. So that's just a standard. I believe it's also government profile. I think it gets thinner below the handguard. And I actually put two of these together. When I bought this LMT lower, we did it in a group buy on a forum, so I got it at a good price. And then the BCM top took me a while. I saved my money and I got it, and it's been great. It runs great. It's all BCM parts. I got it as a complete upper as well, so all of this was built in-house either at LMT or at Bravo Company. Now, when I bought this, Bravo wasn't making lowers yet, so once they started putting their own lowers together, I actually put a whole Bravo Company AR together. It's very similar to this. It's a mid-length, almost the same. It's unfired. It was just kind of a backup one I put together, and it's been sitting in my closet. I'd considered, nowadays that everything is free float handguards that you can mount a bunch of stuff to, I've considered doing that to my other one. I'm going to leave this one as is. I like it. It's reliable. I don't need to mess with it. But the other one, I may switch out the handguard, but I'm not sure, because then I'll have to take off the front sight base, and that's only going to be something I need to do if I'm going to have a certain optic on there, like here, where the Holosun is mounted so low that if you had a front sight base that wasn't folding, you would have an issue. Obviously, with one of these, you could put a folding front sight and a folding rear sight, so you could have backup sights on this one as well. You know, there's something to be said. I'm someone that's been shooting AR-15s since the 80s. I've just always liked the look, and there's just something about kind of the classic look. And this isn't classic at all. This is classic for the early 2000s. Back then, this was considered, you know, tactical. If you wanted a classic, you'd get a 20-inch standard AR with an A2 carry handle. That was a classic. This was the hotness at the time, but now this is the hotness. I'm very excited to shoot it. So I just wanted to do a little comparison here of not old school, we'll say mid school and new school. But let's go ahead and set this up. I've got the target set down there at 50 yards. We're going to shoot the PMC first and see how long it takes us to get this sucker dialed in. Okay, I've got 5 rounds of the PMC in there. One thing I would recommend before you start adding all these especially like this front grip here, it's gonna make it difficult for me to bag it. Not impossible. That being said, this is 50 yards, and I don't think this is some sort of a 2-stage trigger. I'm sure it's just a standard single stage. So I've got it loaded up. Let's see if we're even on paper. I will say I like the magnifier. I like the fact that the magnifier moves so you can use the sight without it. I mean, they make some neat stuff for AR-15s. Okay, I need to adjust myself here and make sure I'm shooting this as comfortably as I can. Okay, that's 5 shots. Not sure where I hit. Let's take out our magazine. I'll go ahead and leave the chamber open so it cools off a little bit. Let's go see where we hit. Well, doesn't look like I'm gonna have to do much adjustment at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's right. I think that's 3 hits. I don't see anything else on here, and there's nothing on the cardboard. It's clean cardboard around it. 3 power at 50 yards, so it's doing very well. PMC Bronze isn't necessarily, you know, some sort of target ammo either. So, and as far as a 1-in-7 barrel, a 1-in-7 twist, and how well it stabilizes 55 grain, I mean, there's one down here, but of course that could be me as well, but that's not bad. Budget ammunition, that's a decent little group. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust it just slightly to the left and maybe a notch high or a notch up, and then I'll shoot at one of these 2 down here and see how we do. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before I adjust the sight, I decided to do one more thing, which is I'm going to try the 5.56 out of it. The other one was 223, and if I remember correctly, PMC, the Bronze is slightly underpowered. So before I start messing with elevation or windage, I wanted to see how well it does with some 5.56 to 55 grain. And then based on those results, we may tweak the sights a little bit. So let's go ahead and see how we do. I think I'm hitting low. Okay, that's 5 shots. Let's see how we did. Okay, so the 5.56 actually hit a little bit lower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I kind of spread them out there. Didn't hit as well. You know, I will say one thing about the PMC. I think it's a boat tail, and that may be why I'm getting slightly tighter groups with it. But it doesn't seem like the 5.56 is hitting much different. It's hitting just a little bit lower, but about the same. I mean, windage on this one, because they spread out, I'm not sure I'd really touch windage without shooting some, without figuring out what ammo you are going to use with your rifle, because that's the thing. I mean, you can sight it in for whatever you want, but at the end of the day, if you buy 1,000 rounds of a certain type of ammo that you like, sight it in for that ammo. That's what you're going to use, because between different brands, different weights, even the same weight, different style bullet or different lots will hit differently on target out of the same rifle. I'm going to go back to the PMC. I'm going to shoot one more set of rounds through it. I'm going to shoot it at this top right target, and depending on how it hits, I may make a couple more adjustments and then leave it as is. Okay, here we go. We got 5 more rounds of the PMC Bronze. Get that loaded in and see how well we can do. Yeah, I mean, it isn't the steadiest way to shoot with that front grip attached using this particular bag, but it'll have to do. Okay, that's 5 rounds. Let's go take a look. Okay, and here we are at our target. So actually that shot pretty well. I'm hesitant to adjust the sights. I mean, at 50 yards with a 3-power magnifier on a green dot Holosun, shooting PMC Bronze 55 grain, that's pretty good. I guess I could raise it a little bit, but I'm hesitant to do that because I'm not sure what grain ammunition he's going to want to shoot out of that rifle. He's on, I mean, basically he's going to be on paper on the bullseye. He may just have to adjust a little up, a little down, a little left, a little right, depending on which ammunition he decides to go to. If he starts shooting 62 grain, 69 grain, 70 grain, you know, whatever he likes, or if he wants to stick with 55, he may just want to click this up half MOA or more, and that way he'll be dead on at 50 and, you know, pretty good out to 100 yards, 150 yards without too much of a difference in elevation. But yeah, I mean, what a rifle. It's shooting really, really great. For a standard single stage trigger, that Daniel Defense is doing wonderful. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what can I say? This was a fun AR to shoot. I don't have anything that even resembles something like this, and nor do I have anything of the quality. Well, I mean, I take that back. I own a couple of older Colts, but at this point, they're kind of collector items. I don't really shoot them much anymore. That's why I have this guy over here to beat up and use as my home defense rifle, if ever necessary, if, you know, society ever collapses, God forbid. But if you have the means, Daniel Defense, these DDM4s, this V7 is great. The grips, the Daniel Defense grips are and buttstock are very, very comfortable. The front grip is nice as well. I didn't do a lot of standing shooting to, you know, try it out on steel. Today I was just about sighting it in for my friend. And wow, it was a pleasure to shoot this rifle, and with the Holosun mounted on there, just made it so easy to get on target very, very quickly. But as always, thanks for watching. Daniel Defense, they make a great firearm. Very easy to sight in at 50 yards with a Holosun with a 3-power magnifier on it. As always, this was a lot of fun for me. Hopefully it was fun for you to watch. Take care, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.